Like the sun is coming out tomorrow, and I know that hip hop will not be saved because we're nowhere near capable of doing what is needed to actually make it wholesome. Dr. Umar Johnson has went on a podcast with a ignorant person and got his blood boiling for some of the things that he said. Dr. Umar Johnson says that hip hop has done nothing for the black community, and I agree with him. I'll even take it a step further. He would probably agree with this too. I believe that hip hop has been detrimental to the black community for generations. Take a look at this.
Hip hop in 50 years has made sure that black people now are respected, and no, that's never gonna happen.
What has it done for the people?
It gave you listen to hip hop music and you were inspired at some point, no?
I'm leaving.
We're moving, we're literally, we're moving goalposts.
It ain't done shit in 50 years for the community.
It
made individuals rich, and that's it.
It then gave jobs to. It gave jobs
to. Gave a couple jobs. The drug dealer giving out a couple jobs too.
But the dealer is essential to the black community and the.
Did y'all hear that? Did he just say that the drug dealer is essential to the black community? Did he say that the dealer is essential to the black community? Did he just say that the dealer is essential to the black community? Did he just say that the dealer is essential to the black community?
The dealer is essential to the black community in the ghetto. You can't tell me that somebody grew up in the hood.
Hip-hop ain't done concretely beneficial to the black community.
You gave me
incorrect. Fashion. The
that's
first
incorrect.
thing out of your mouth was fashion.
I gave you fashion, and you started yelling over me.
What else?
But then also, then there's technological advancement. Podcasting, for example. Look at all the black people that now have access to jobs and ways to make money due to that. We're still talking about rap. We're still talking about cinema. We're still talking about these camera operators, these new people coming up with new.
Let me make it real concrete for you.
I just made it concrete.
No, it wasn't. That was all.
No, what you're about to say.
Give me a relevant institution that hip hop built in any community, anywhere in America.
I just told you. I just told you.
No, you didn't.
I told you. I just told you concrete. People that would not have access.
I didn't say
You're gonna cut me off again.
individuals. I said
You're
an
gonna cut me off again.
institution.
I said people.
Where's the bank of hip hop for the black community?
The definition of the word people means not an individual. So I'm telling you, people that are now of 50 years ago would not have had access to work.
You're dealing in individualism. I ask you, what did they do for the community? You can't give me nothing because they ain't done.
People from the community can now work in a music industry that there was never going to be a space for them.
That's individualism. That ain't helping us. That's
no.
Bull.
No.
It's not helping us.
No. What's happening is virtual signaling. That's
bullshit.
What's happening. Virtual signaling ain't happening.
A few people could get jobs. Everybody can say that. Elon Musk got a couple black people on the payroll. That don't mean.
Elon Musk didn't come from black. He's not a black person.
My point is, you can get a job from anywhere, whether they black or not.
But now
That's
you're
not
getting a job.
Benefit.
Now black people.
But you're still talking about individualism, bro. A few people. You've been around for 50 years. The most popular music genre in the world. Billions and billions of dollars. And all you can tell me about is a few people can get jobs? That's bullshit. When you look at the cost that the black community has had to pay for hip-hop. A whole generation, 2-3 generations of black kids growing up thinking the best thing you can do is be a damn gangster.
Whew. Now, Dr. Umar says a lot of radical things that I don't agree with. He's radical with the, but this right here is something that I've been preaching for a long time. I mean, a lot of people in my friend group call me coon, crazy. You just hate yourself. You hate black people, because I agree 100%. Hip hop has been detrimental to the black people for a generation, since I was a kid and beyond. It doesn't spit nothing but negativity, materialism, disrespect towards women, greed, murder, crime. It promotes all of the bad things that white people stereotype and hate and despise about black people. You could argue that hip hop is the ultimate tool for racist white people to keep black people on the bottom. And black people will call to arms to defend hip hop as if it's actually good. I have some D-Man says he thinks hip hop is actually doing good for the black people. This motherfuckers is and he's a teacher. He's teaching kids and he believes that. That's wild. Robbing, killing, not having no love and affinity for black women. The black women that listen to it, especially modern day hip hop, it's all about being promiscuous, putting your body on somebody else, tricking a man for his money, materializing, being materialistic, and only looking out for a man's money, having no loyalty, no love, no affection, just nothing. People are walking around here just soulless people, hollowed out bodies with no soul on the inside. And hip hop is a really big part of it.
50th anniversary of hip hop. We only got 60 days left in 2023. Do you mean to tell me we're going to let this year-long celebration go by and nobody's going to have a serious conversation about whether hip hop has actually been a benefit or not to the black community? I haven't seen a conversation, a YouTube, a town hall meeting, a BET special. I don't see anybody talking about the ramifications, the negative impact that hip hop has had on the black community.
Well, I've been saying it on my YouTube channel. I know I ain't a big boy, but you know what I'm saying? We cannot no longer cap for black stuff just because it's black. If it's toxic, if it's bad for us, we need to reject it. And that's what Umar is saying right here.
The ramifications, the negative impact that hip hop has had on the black community. Now, the first thing the hip hop artist is going to say, I'm only rapping what I live. But you don't live it no more. The minute you start making money, you moved out the neighborhood. So why you still rapping about death when you don't live around that no more? That means you're a hypocrite. And if you're so dedicated to telling the ghetto tale, why did you move out the neighborhood? Why do you send your kids to private schools? So you live in a white neighborhood, you send your kids to white private schools, you moved out the black ghetto the minute you had enough money to do so, but yet you're telling me the reason you're still rapping about death, drugs, jail, and homicide is because that's the life you live. You don't live it no more.
What up, Jody? Fire topic. Do you think hip hop can be saved? If so, how? Hashtag team no sus. Bah! Yes, I do think hip hop can be saved. Just like I think that world peace is possible. But highly unlikely, not gonna happen. Will it be saved? No. You said, can it be? Yes. But what it takes in order to save it is not going to happen. Like the sun is coming out tomorrow, and I know that hip hop will not be saved because we're nowhere near capable of doing what is needed to actually make it wholesome. And in alignment with your donation, now Simo is in another country. He's not even black. He says, I'm not big on hip hop. This is his observation. He said, my observation is that it taught kids selfishness and disregard of the rules is cool. Completely destroyed the values of a greater community. Completely destroyed the values of a good community that black people before them fought for. And that's absolutely true. When you break the rules, you edgy, you cool. When you don't hear nobody out because you're the guy, you got the swag, you're the man. Why are you the man? Now, why would somebody call you the man? I can break it down to a molecular level. What makes a kid want to dress with Jordans? What makes a kid want to wear fashionable jeans and clothes? Hip hop and now social media. So everything that I put the hip hop to, you could probably also add social media, because hip hop is also weaponized in social media. The only reason why a kid wants to look cool is for the girls. The only reason why, or for, idolizing people older than him or his favorite rapper or idol, right? They glorify materialism. Why do girls want to be with the cool kid? What makes a cool kid? How you talk, how you dress, how you look. When I was in school, bro, when the kids who cuss were the cool kids, FUB, I'm like, dang, he's 10 years old saying that. And I'm like, dang, the cool kid is always the bad kid. Most of the time in the projects in the hood, the badder you are, the cooler you are. The badder you are, the more girls like you. I don't know why that is, but that's the way it is. Like Pac said, that's just the way it is. Why are black women attracted to such things? The thug, the bad boy, the dope dealer, because they got money. They have respect of other men. Why do men respect other men like that? Because of the fear, because of the guns that they may have, because of the other goons they may have under them. All that is in hip hop. All of that, there's songs, there's rap songs, there's hip hop, all about all of that, bro. About having goons, about not respecting police, not respecting anything. I don't break the laws. I move by myself. I got this, I got that. I'm the man. It's my world. Y'all live in it. It's that type of situation. I absolutely believe that hip hop is not only not good, because hip hop hasn't done anything good for the community. You could just wipe that freaking out. I'm saying that it has been detrimental to our youth and our kids. If you look at the little black girls, they're twerking. We've seen parties of 5 and 6 year olds twerking to Sexy Red, when Nicki Minaj's are considered idols by our little girls. Back then it was Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman's. Heck, even people throwing Madam C.J. Walker out there. Now it's Sexy Red, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. Our little black girls have nothing to look up to but filth. Why? Because they listen to hip hop music. Because it's growing from within in our culture. That's why I said black culture is toxic. The toxic side of black culture. Now, there's black culture that is wholesome and good. Yeah, that's good. But that's not shown everywhere. They don't put that in the media. That doesn't influence anybody across the world. It's the negative that people care about. It's the negative that people latch on to. And it's the toxic side of black culture that created this. Trixie, hello?
Hey, can you hear me? You all good?
I'm good. I want disagreements, Trix.
Yeah, so being a first of all, one white girl clearly, in the UK also, so I don't really have much of an input on this one, but what I know myself with this one, again, I'm not really massively into R&B, rap, hip-hop, or that kind of stuff either. Like, the beats are good, but it takes a really, deep kind of, lyrics to kind of catch me with that. So what I've found really is a lot of the rap songs and R&B that I like are normally actually girl response songs to a bloke gobbing off like, oh, I'm the man, I'm like this, I'm like that, boom, and then a girl's reply is like, well, there's my response to you're a loser kind of situation. Like they're the ones that kind of catch me. I think the problem really is it's like the industry, do you know what I mean, where they definitely want to split the families up and have as much control as possible. Like any artist, R&B artist or whatnot who doesn't rock about those detrimental, damaging things don't get played, they don't get signed, they don't get promoted, they don't get pushed, so they're not getting heard. So I don't really think it's really the genre per se. I reckon it's more how it's being pushed, really, and I think people need to start realizing as well, like a lot of the male rappers that are rapping about all that kind of that's just disgusting and whatnot. Even the girls are doing that now. That is also kind of, I think, like a direct response, flip of what was going on to start with, but no one's really noticing like how that came about. Like, it's trashy, yeah, but again, it's kind of a response that no one's really noticed, in my opinion.
Thank you, Trixie, for your thoughts. I appreciate you. Lewis, Nerd Report, my favorite.
What's up, buddy?
It's a hot topic, dog. You ready for it?
Man, look, it's hard for me to get in here because I am Hispanic. I'm a person. I mean, I don't like this word. I don't like to be considered a person of color because I believe everyone has color. I'm human, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm getting to is I'm a Cuban American. Jody, would you say my input is welcome?
Yes.
With the hip hop.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially because you're a DJ. You used to work for Power 106 here in LA.
And I got insight. And I was there when hip hop blew up. Not the hip hop we're talking about right now. I'm talking NWA.
Yeah.
Power 106 Big Boy. I was there the first day he went on. Do you know Big Boy?
Of course.
He was from KDAY. You know KDAY?
Of course, KDLA. Let's go.
KDAY, but when it was on AM. KDAY used to be a station that played hip hop in the 80s. And then on Sunday, they be gospel. You know, so it was the only station doing that. I believe they were out of Santa Monica. The local stations would not play hip hop. They were racist. Power would not play hip hop. The one that broke it in was Supersonic by JJ Fad. Okay,
all right.
That's his history. That's the one they started playing. That was fun. That was, to me, hip hop. It was breakdancing. It was graffiti. It was DJing. It was rapping.
Yep.
It was the gangs were starting to not fight anymore. They were competing against each other with rap and dancing and graffiti artistry.
That ain't it no more.
Because the radio station started pushing the gangster rival for money.
Yep.
They don't want the positive, dude. Yep. There was a time, I'm going to tell you right now, and I was a kid, I'm in high school, I remember, the gangs ended, the fight between, the fight in the hood was not there no more, man. It was on every night. There were shootings. There were crime against brother. And that ended because the beginning of hip hop, it was about dancing with each other. It was about looking good. It was, look at the movie Breaking, Yeah.
People actually had beefs and settled it on dance floors back then and shit like crazy.
They did.
Yeah.
It sounds silly now. They did. Dude, Ice-T was in Breaking.
Yeah.
Okay? The beginning of Straight Outta Compton
yes.
kind of touched a little bit of that era.
Yes.
And then, but it didn't really touch that era.
Understand,
Lewis,
with who? That what you're talking about right now, that is what hip-hop used to be and what it truly is. But it isn't that no more for at least 20 years. That's dead.
More than that, 30.
Yeah.
Because listen, I was there. These people that are pushing the stuff, they don't care about the kids. They wanted the negative. They don't give a crap.
Yep.
They'll sell out your kid for $1 if they were pushing the stuff. They're pushing the gangster stuff. They're pushing the division. They monetize that, and they ain't black, dude. Let me tell you, the people making the money are the race, huh?
You're absolutely right. Most of them are Jewish people.
It is what it is, okay?
And I'm going to say, even though a lot of Jewish owners who own these groups and stuff and is pushing this filth to the communities that has been successful for at least 30 years, there's not going to be, if there's no audience for it and people didn't love it, it would never have been successful. We have to take responsibility for accepting it, welcoming, embracing it, and then living it.
But also, we could only like what we know. And if the radio stations are not playing the music, how do we know it's out there? That's why I never liked radio, bro. If you talk to me about regular top 40 music, I don't know what it is. I went from electro dancing, hip hop, breakdancing, to a little bit of hip hop, straight to house music, which is also black music. It's from Chicago. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's from disco. So is those disco samples, all that stuff. It's in hip hop. It's also in house music. It's the music, but to me, it was always more positive house music. The direction hip hop went was negative, and it's become about making money, and no one gives a crap about the community, man. I'm sorry. That's just the look. This is what I see. Drake, right? 5-6 years ago, you couldn't get Drake out of anybody's image. He was everywhere, dude. I would go to visit the Beat, 92.3 The Beat, I guess, over here in Burbank. They had Drake everywhere. Now you're telling me they hate him? dude, it's because the machine was pushing that guy to be number one at one point, right?
Yeah.
He was the shit. Now they don't like it. That's all fake, man. It's all drama. It's not about the music no more, man. It needs to go back to the roots. It needs to go back to breakdancing. It needs to go back to graffiti. It needs to go back. Research KRS-One, okay? You know, Boogie Down Productions. That stuff. One Big Posse. Google that. That is what LA hip hop is about. It's weird me talking about hip hop, right? You probably didn't know I knew some of that stuff, but
No, of course I did.
But I stopped after '92, man, because I saw that the records they were pushing, the music they were pushing, was not only it was fixed, you know, it was payola.
So now you see that since '92 when you left, over 30 years after the fact, look what hip hop has done to us, to black people. Look what it's done to the culture.
It's hurt, man. It's made them. That's not what black people are, man. Black people are. That's not. It's a family, and hip hop ended the rivalry between gangs, man. I saw it for a bit.
What do you mean that's not?
That's what it did.
What do you mean that's not who black people are? As
black
far
people
as,
are not hateful people. They're not violent people.
I don't think anybody is. No people are hateful.
But hip hop portrays them like that to middle America.
So you'll even admit that listening to hip hop, you think that black people are hateful and evil. Based off the music.
It tries to portray.
Right.
Yes, it does.
So imagine people who aren't even in America who see us in music videos and see us on TV and think those are some ignorant, evil killers.
Right. Because they elevate those voices. And it happens with Hispanics too. They elevate those voices.
But we are consuming it, though.
Jody's Corner.
We are consuming it.
They don't elevate the Jody's Corner.
What about the little girls and the mothers and the fathers who are consuming it and raising their kids off of it?
Because it's 50 years. It's a long time. It's a legacy now. It's something we're gonna have to deal with. It's something the streets is gonna have to deal with, and somehow course correct. But the course correction has not started yet. The culture is engraved now. There's the kids of the founders are the founders of the fake hip hop, what I call fake hip hop, the sellout hip hop, the hip hop that sells Pepsi, okay, the hip hop that sells Coca-Cola. That's what the radio stations push. They don't push the hip hop that comes from the heart.
Yeah,
the original hip hop came from the heart.
Yeah, that's
you know why? Because the radio, like I told you from the beginning, it was KDAY, the only station playing hip hop, right? When Power got it, when Kiss FM got it, and they were very hesitant to do it. When they found out they could monetize it, they could make money off it, that's when they were interested. And unfortunately, a lot of rappers went for the money too. You know, they're collaborating, they're sampling. It's been sampled a million times. There's no original beats. What if you run out of beats, man? Make your own beats.
Have you noticed? Have you noticed, as you're Hispanic? Have you noticed that back in our day, if you look at let's take the year 1996. If a Mexican says in front of black people, what's gonna happen to him?
You know, I never use that word, dude. So I don't know. I can't really.
You don't know what would happen to a Mexican who says in front of black people in LA in 1996?
I would say they would get their.
That's what I'm saying. And now, I see so many on social media, Mexicans, even Asians and white people are saying the N-word and acting this way, and they are listening to the same type of hip hop music. It's outside of the genre now, outside of the culture.
Outside of what do we do though, Jody? I mean I think the change starts with people like you, but they're shadow banning us. Because listen, I just posted a couple videos today, and I got less than 100 views. And they were top tier
less
breaking
than 100?
news. No one got notified.
Yeah.
So voices
Mine
like
are off
you,
too. Yeah.
voices like you that should be at 50,000 views are getting oppressed. Is it because you're talking the truth?
Mostly,
What is going on?
That's what it is. They don't want that. They want the machine to keep rolling. And you're right, it is a machine. But
It's a machine.
we cannot just blame the white people, the people who are in positions of power, utilizing hip hop against black folks, and just completely, it's their fault. It's their fault. We need to take some type of accountability for ourselves as well.
Yeah, practice control. Practice, like, yeah, some of the tunes sound great, man, but don't put your money in there, because that empowers the people that hate you or don't give a crap about you. Trust me, they didn't care about the kids, man. The program directors, they pushed the music. There was hip hop that was positive, that was better than the stuff we got that got played in the early 90s that never got any play, man, because it wasn't negative. It wasn't gangster. It wasn't hurting the community. And I don't even know if they were doing it on purpose. They don't care, man. They don't care. And they're pushing these songs. The songs get big. The tracks get big because they're on the air on rotation. You could only like what's familiar. Familiar songs are the ones that make money. Okay? There's also underground hip hop though. And I encourage everyone listening is to look for the underground hip hop. Stuff that's not played on the radio. There's plenty of that stuff. That's way better, more creative, more inclusive, you know, and stuff like that. Look at this. Jody, let me go on a rant on that damn Olympics breakdancing. You know how many idiots went on the air and said that, why is breakdancing on here? It's not a real art. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Breakdancing is an art, and I challenge all those half of those sports they have in the Olympics
It's definitely
to even
a sport,
do.
that's for sure.
Yeah, but you know, they brought in the worst of the worst breakdancers with trash music, and they judge it like that. And it's like, no, breakdancing is from the heart, man. Breakdancing is from the heart. Graffiti's from the heart. Rap is from the heart. DJing's from the heart. And those are the elements of hip hop, from what I understand, right?
Those are the four elements of hip
KRS-One.
hop. Yes, and those four elements of hip hop are irrelevant today. They don't even go by those.
They're irrelevant today.
Yes.
They're irrelevant. Could you believe that?
Yes, I believe it.
It's sad, and look into it because it's badass. And I see look at your studio. I see some graffiti in there. Look at how badass your studio looks in there. Look into it, folks. Do your own research. That's all I got to say, Jody.
Thank you, Lewis. Nerd Report. Check out his
man.
channel, Nerd Report on
Thanks,
YouTube.
man.
Give him a follow, man. Shout out to my dog Lewis from the Nerd Report. Yeah, that was what this was all about. Hip hop, graffiti, to give it that graffiti look. Yeah. People don't even know what the four elements of hip hop are. Most people don't. They think hip hop is just the music. No, there's four elements to hip hop. And we're gonna go ahead and go to I see John Bapp is here. We're gonna go ahead and pull in John Bapp. Philadelphia native OG. What's up with it, John Bapp? I think we're gonna be disagreeing, brother.
Yeah, because can you hear me well?
I hear you well, yes.
Anyway, but yeah, I was actually going to say a whole bunch of stuff that Nerd Report said. I mean, when it first started, it was revolutionary, and revolutionary does not follow rules. So the idea of you being a revolutionary is something that will attract attention of the masses in the community. So yes, the people that do break the rules, they do get all the attention. There's that with hip hop.
But those people, that was okay. You talking about what it was? Yeah, I could agree with you on what it was. We're talking about this last 30 years of hip hop that ruined a generation and is continuing to ruin our kids and ruin even adults is falling victim to this. Everybody is, bro. Even white people, Hispanics, Asians, it's going everywhere, bro. This modern day of what hip hop is, not the OG hip hop, what you and Lewis were talking about that I understand and recognize. None of them recognize it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what it's been.
Right. I mean, but see, like, it's just like what you and Lewis were talking about. It's like they're not going to promote the stuff that is wholesome. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like,
yes. I don't think that people will buy that. It doesn't sell.
Exactly. And see, that's why it's such a deeper conversation. Because you said, well, you can't blame all the white people. Okay, but if there's a conspiracy, you blame every conspirator. So yes, you can blame everybody that has had their hand in this. And again, I don't want to like regurgitate everything that we talked about with Sadler Ward and with Lewis, but the program directors have taken over radio hip hop.
Yeah.
Basically, what they do is they pay the radio stations back in the day. I mean, the record labels pay the program director to play this song, this song, this song, this many times, this many times, and this many times.
Yes.
So
that is irrelevant, though. It's not even about radio no more. No one listens to the radio. It's music videos and social media. And there is no program director for that. There is nobody you can bribe for that. That is us listening and taking in and putting that into fruition in our daily lives on our own accord. We can't, that radio thing about DJs and program directors, that's of the 80s and the 90s. There is no more radio like that no more. It is us listening to the music. It is us streaming the music on Spotify. And it is us on the internet copying the and putting that in our schools, doing it in our workplace, shooting motherfuckers, selling dope. Right. I'm telling you, people, when they do drive-bys, they put certain tracks on so they can get them in that mood to get in that killer vibe, bro. It influences all that shit. It's dark energy, bro.
Right. So if the good, I don't want to say good people, but if the people that are making positive music are shadow banned, there are larger corporations that sponsor the people that you see all the time that are being promoted on the internet and social media.
I don't think that's it. I don't believe that the good hip hop artists, like I talked about all the time, Talib Kweli, Common, these motherfuckers can't make a hit in 2024, bro. They lost the sauce. They don't understand that you got to make a good production beat in order to get people's ears listening. Most people only care about the beat, the production of a song before they even listen to the lyrics of the song. And these old school, old head rappers who can't get they in their head that you need to elevate what you're doing. It's not just about what you say, it's about the production of the beat itself. And they do not make hits. Their beats suck. They're not hitting to a modern audience. And it proved that when I said about Kendrick Lamar, that Meet the Grams diss or whatever it was fire lyrically, right? It was a savage to Drake. Then he came out with Not Like Us, and it had that boom, 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 boom. They not like us. They not like us. Repetitive, clicky, to get people getting it. And that's his biggest song. Why? Because Kendrick did exactly what I thought he should do. Make a song that people will care about, listen to, that has the production, and then give him the lyrics, then give him the knowledge. And that was fact. That proves that it worked.
So that proves that hip hop is worthwhile.
Yeah, I believe it's worthwhile. I believe that you could actually have people come and make but as a whole, this is the type of person I am. The tree's rotting. There's good apples, but there's bad. I'm chopping it down.
The whole, come on, man.
Yes. When you got an infection in one of your fingers and it's growing, you gonna let it grow and take your arm?
You cut out the infection.
Yeah, by cutting off the appendage.
No.
You don't cut out an infection. If you have an infected finger, you cut the finger off.
Right. That's why we have surgeons. You target the infection and you remove the infection.
Who's our surgeons in hip hop to save it?
Okay, so now you threw me off with that one.
No, but you brought up a surgeon. Like a surgeon is a fixer.
It's a specialist. Yes, it removes the infection without destroying the hole. So Kendrick Lamar is doing surgery right now. So now we need more rappers to do surgery.
Gangrene. There's no removing gangrene. You have to sever the limb.
He said infection. Gangrene is like past the point of no return.
That's what I'm saying. That's an infection of you got. Do you think that hip hop right now in the last 30 years is a simple infection that you could just root out with a surgeon, or do you think it's much deeper than that at this point?
I mean, it's very layered. Like we were talking about it in the comment section. Like, is the reason why so much negativity is proliferated is because it's deeper. It is really deeper than just the industry of hip hop.
But it's very simple though too. If people stop consuming it and freaking listening to it, it'll.
I mean, that's easy for us to say because we're not invested in it.
Correct. I was. Were you?
Yeah, of course I was.
Why'd you stop?
I'm still invested in it, but I'm not. Say it again.
Why'd you stop? Oh, you're still invested in it.
Yeah, but I'm invested in underground hip hop though.
Okay, well, about this hip hop we're talking about for the last 30 years.
So you're specifically talking about mainstream radio.
Not radio. I'm not. Throw the word radio out.
Just call it mainstream hip hop. Just call it mainstream hip hop.
Sure, mainstream hip hop.
Right.
Are you invested in it?
Not at all.
Why?
Because it's like you and Lewis said. All they do is promote garbage. They promote people that don't have any lyrical content.
That's true that they do promote garbage, but have you seen our people act straight ignorant off of the what they promote? Right? Who are the ones promoting it? I believe it. If you put something in front of somebody, and you say you can take this or you can't, and the person takes it, is it the person who offered its fault, or is it the person who takes it fault?
So that's almost like the dealer drug addict argument.
Yep.
Aren't they both at fault?
Yes, but overall, we're responsible for our own actions.
Right. So
if you take a heroin pin and you put the heroin in your needles, that's your fault, sir. That's your fault. You can't blame somebody else.
Right. But it goes back to what I said. If there's a conspiracy, every conspirator can be put on trial. Every conspirator.
But I'm talking about fault. Who is at fault? I'm not talking about who's culpable as a conglomerate. You're this much at fault. You did this, so you're this much at fault. I'm talking about the main person who is at fault for their actions is the drug addict or the drug dealer. The dealer is a terrible person,
right,
but he's not making you take the drug.
But he's preying on you because you said addict.
No, a person who takes, a person who took because at some point there were no drug addicts at a point, right? People decided, I'm going to put, as someone who is not addicted to drugs, this actually happens. Someone's not addicted to drugs and is in such a low state or a weird state that they put some poison in their arm to get addicted to the drug. Now, what usually happens in someone's life where they would be of sound mind and body and then put a deadly like heroin in their veins? I'll tell you, John Bapp, parties, shindigs, clubs, stuff that's surrounding hip hop culture.
Trauma will do that.
Trauma could do that too.
I mean, that's the main reason for addiction. Trauma.
I don't think so. I think it's no. I think drugs are taken way more recreationally than trauma based. No, people sniff coke, bro. Like people did weed in the 90s. People taking X pills like crazy for recreation.
Right, but people that take coke can afford coke because that's a rich person's drug.
Not no more. $10 bags, bro. There's people all over here sniffing coke. What are you talking about?
I don't know any cokeheads, so I apologize.
Yeah,
I know suspected cokeheads.
Yeah, that's how.
What I'm saying is that mostly something traumatic happens, and somebody will take a drug to forget about how they feel or forget about what they rehearse because of their trauma.
I mean, if you want to call that trauma, having a bad day is trauma. No, I think that people are not doing what you. Yes, I could. When you say trauma, I'm thinking, my daddy touched me. My mama got into a car accident. Stuff like that. That's not most people, John Bapp. Most people.
No, I said most addicts.
I think most addicts take simply because, freak it, I'll try it. Or they're at a club, or they're with the homies, or there's peer pressure from a girl or a guy. More people are taking based off of culture than trauma.
I can't agree with that.
Oh, I see it. I see it, bro. I see people sit up there whenever. I see people taking coke whenever. Oh, I'll do it. F it. People don't care, John Bapp. There is no more consciences in these kids, bro. And these even grown men. They don't have consciences. They don't have freaking souls. They don't have any judgment. They're doing dumb. Did you see the little kids live stream themselves? That cop ran him over and live streamed it, bro.
Oh, yeah, car, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
These are the type of people that, and you don't think that these type of motherfuckers would be like, frig it, bro. That music, hey, let's go, man. I'll take a line.
Oh, I totally agree. Like, that's part of the whole. Like we're not really disagreeing here. I'm just saying there's a bigger chunk based on trauma. Now let's bring it back to the topic about hip hop.
I want to be clear. I want to be clear before we go there. I disagree that you say it's trauma based. I'm saying it's recreational. You're sleeping on the fact that these kids and a lot of adults are just taking because they're at a club or at a party, at a function, or their homies or homegirls are peer pressuring them to do it.
No. I totally agree with that.
Oh, okay.
Somebody in the chat in Discord, we talked about that this morning.
Oh, wow.
Why did you first do this? And somebody said because they saw somebody else doing it.
Yep.
So I agree with what you're
and that is glorified in hip hop. Go ahead. Now we're back at hip hop.
Right. So and actually that's another reason why I hate today's hip hop because a lot of it is crash out music.
Yeah.
So and people can vouch for me about how I feel about certain albums that just came out because of how much they talk about the proliferation of pills and just like syrup and all this other crazy stuff.
Yep.
But again, it's part of that whole. All of it is not like that. Even currently, it is all not like that. But it goes back to what you said though. Mainstream is like that, and mainstream does push that. But mainstream is not the whole of hip hop. So I don't believe the whole of hip hop has been a waste.
You saying mainstream isn't the whole of hip hop is saying like the man of the house isn't the main aspect of the household. I mean, sure, there's children and a wife, but the man is responsible for his household, bro. That is the pillar. He's the head. He's the top, and that's what mainstream hip hop is. All that other stuff you're talking about, down, underground, that's a small percentage. I'm talking about mainstream hip hop. We're talking about a 90 percentile piece of the pie here.
But so let's go back to it though. But most people that listen to mainstream hip hop know it's garbage.
No,
most people tell you like these people can't rap. These people can't rap. And they will direct you to somebody that's underground. They go, I never heard of them. Of course you haven't, because all they're pushing is. And I don't want to put out anybody's name.
Right.
Artist, Like yeah, that's all we hear is her and her and her. Everybody knows they can't rap.
Are you sure?
Like
I don't think so. I think that people would tell you that the Migos were the hottest group of all time before Chris Brown came and smoked them. The Migos, skirt, skitty, roo. They were the rap group of all time, bro. You can't say nothing bad about NBA Youngboy. He got bars.
Well, again, I'm not invested in that. So.
That's what I'm saying. They not only, and to be honest, to play devil's advocate and to freaking just agree with you for a second to move forward.
Right.
Maybe they do think that their lyrics are. That doesn't matter to me. That's not about the argument. It's a matter, do those lyrics have influence on them? Does hip hop, does that music influence them to be toxic? And it's clearly yes. It influences them to fight, influences them to freaking be materialistic, influences us to freaking sell dope, take dope. I'd say it influences us, our kids, to take dope more than to even sell dope now.
I agree with that.
Which is like, dang, pick your poison. They're both bad, right? But if you would think, I'd rather be a drug dealer than a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me personally, both are terrible. But if I had to pick one, it's somehow getting worse, bro. And
right, because when you're an addict, your judgment is skewed. So that's why
your life gets effed up. Absolutely, your life is in a disarray. Your family's life, everything, directly.
So I want to make one last point, okay? Because I've been on here for a minute. Back, you're familiar with No Limit and Master P and all them.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now, Master P was, I don't know if you remember Source Magazine and other, but they said Hip Hop Magazine kids back in the day.
Yeah.
Every Source album, you saw a new No Limit artist coming on a weekly basis. He was dropping albums like this. Now that was independent hip hop. And Master P, he had a distribution deal with Priority Records, but he was making all his money in Louisiana. Okay. The major corporations weren't making any of that money. So what did they see? They said, oh, wait, they making this much money in hip hop in the hood? So immediately they came out with a group called Cash Money that was sponsored by Universal, which is a Sony entity. So then Sony said, okay, we're going to pay Cash Money, Juvenile, Lil Wayne, all these people, so that all that money can be made for white corporations.
They even took their name. I believe the Hot Boys was originally a Master P's crew, and they had to change their name to the 504 Boys.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about. All the conspiracy, because this is a very loaded like topic. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, so look at the inverse of that. So if you were doing positive hip hop and it was selling, do you think that white corporations will come in and fork out money to take possession of it and repackage it the way?
Absolutely not. But the positive hip hop ain't existing and it ain't selling. Neither Cash Money and what they were doing. I had the TRU album in 1996. I had the TRU album. That wasn't. That was they were rapping about too.
Right.
Master P.
So we both know that a white corporation is not going to push anything that's positive. So that's my whole
for black folks. Absolutely, I absolutely believe you. Yes, 100%. But what I'm at, what I want to get from you is if you had to put it on one entity, who is responsible, who is at fault, for why black culture is in the state it's in regards to hip hop? Are you blaming the white man who puts the drug on the table, or are you blaming the black folks who are taking the?
I'm gonna answer your question, okay? I'm gonna answer your question. But as I said, there is a conspiracy that's multi-layered, it's multi-tiered, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
To answer your question, it's us. I'm answering your question, it's us. Because we should be responsible for what we do and how we behave.
Correct. That's the world that I want to live in. We're responsible for our own actions.